To the Lord. We just gonna go over the topic is I just looked up mindless today, and I just call it mindless souls. That's what I call it. So, and we're gonna look up the definition of mindless. You got it up there for me, officer? I just want to read the hey, go down to the similar words too. That's them all the definitions. Okay, click on more definitions. All right, that's it. Okay. I like the one where it says no thinking of or concern about. Now click on the similar words. I want y'all to see all these words about mindless spirits that we can have in this truth. Y'all gonna click on the similar words. What y'all doing? Arrow. Yeah. See all those words? Hey, hear me, you over there?
Yes, sir.
Just read. You ain't gonna read all of them, man. Just read a couple of them.
Yes, sir. Stupid.
Dang.
Idiotic.
Wow.
Asinine. Foolish. Unintelligent. Weak-minded. Dumb. Brain dead. Dead from the neck up. Boneheaded. Fat-headed.
Hey, go to that word where it said pig ignorant. We're gonna read that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, click on that.
Pig ignorant. Extremely stupid or uneducated.
So these are the spirits. Go back out. When you we can develop in us as if we don't continue to examine ourselves. You can hold that definition up there, but let's start off with Psalm chapter 101. Cause we all got these spirits that we have to examine ourselves daily on how we treat one another, and that example gonna show it gonna show outside with the ungodly on how you treat them based off on how we treat each other in here, because we have to be that light. Read what you got. Start at verse 2.
Psalm chapter 101 verse 2. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Or when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart.
So these are the things we need to walk as a perfect spirit. That goes into examine ourselves. Like I said, the title of the class is called mind. Like, we don't want to have all these attributes come on us and then we mistreat one another. The brothers mistreat one another. We don't basically examine ourselves when we have an interaction with one another. You know what I'm saying? Like the sister, y'all just, y'all do y'all talking and everything, and you might offend somebody without even knowing it because you're not thinking on how I might can offend this sister when I talk to her, or vice versa with the brothers. Keep on reading.
Verse 3.
Come on.
I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. it shall not cleave to me.
So this is the spirit we need to have. We can't set no wicked thing before our eyes, meaning anything that can be a stumbling block to us to make us sin against our neighbor. Everybody understand that? Y'all sure? All right. Anybody got any questions? Y'all good? All right. Read verse 3 again, one more time.
Verse 3. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person.
So, of course, we're going to know wicked people, but it's going into us dwelling amongst the wicked and basically trying to, you know how the scripture says, observe the time? You got to observe the time around the wicked because you can't get influence. You can't get influence, and you can bring that around the body, and then you can have that effect on one another as brothers and sisters. Give me 1 Maccabees, and let me see. 1 Maccabees chapter 5. We're gonna do a little bit of reading on this one. Let's see. Start at this scripture is an example of on how not to be. These are mindless spirits, meaning that they don't care about their people. They don't care about how basically the harm they can bring on their people. Read what you got. Start at 55.
1 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 55. Now, what time as Judas and Jonathan were in the land of Gilead, and Simon his brother in Galilee before Ptolemais, Joseph the son of Zacharias, and Azarias, captains of the garrisons, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done. So you got Joseph and Zacharias and Azarias. They were captains, so they heard of the fame of Judas and Jonathan. And basically, these brothers, they try to make a name for themselves. You're going to explain it. Keep on reading. Wherefore they said, let us also get us a name and go fight against the heathen that are round about us.
So some of us got that spirit on us now. Like we are, as brothers and sisters, we trying to get a name for ourselves. Y'all might hurt somebody in doing that. You might betray your brother to get a name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you got that mindless spirit inside you, meaning that it's all about you. It's all about personal gain. Read on.
So when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went towards Jamnia. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight.
Read on.
And pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men.
So I got a question to the brothers. So now it just said that these brothers try to make a name for themselves. Now, I don't want to give it away. It said they try to make a name for themselves. Why were the men slain? They said, how many were slain?
About 2,000 men.
So why were they slain, brothers? Hey, you got a mic in all these, right? Yeah, brothers. Kind of really gave it away anyway, so go ahead, brother.
Don't see them Jews grubbing.
I see
I can't answer right now. I can't.
Go ahead, bro.
Shalom. So they were slain because they followed those guys who were being envious and trying to get a name for themselves without following orders. They just went on them. They went by them on their own orders to try to make a name for themselves.
Okay. Anybody else?
Shalom.
You ain't wrong, bro. To let you know, you ain't wrong.
I would say that it wasn't of God.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
See that? That's a good answer. Go
ahead.
ahead.
Something they just thought of their own to do. You know, just trying to make a name for themselves.
So were they worried about the people?
No, they were just concerned about themselves. You know,
only about themselves.
Uplifting themselves.
Oh, okay, that's a good answer. Good answer. You can sit down. Go ahead, Cap.
Real quick, just to go along with both Officer Joe's point and what the brother just said. Let's go to Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4. Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4.
Psalm chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
So now, I want you to think about this. Their mind was not on God, is what you specifically said. And it tells you when you're lifted up in a level of pride where you say, to hell with what everyone else's agenda is or what God's agenda is, I'm going to go my way to make a name for myself. The Lord is not in that, just like your answer said. There's no way God is in that because we serve a God of order. When you are disorderly, it can't be the Lord because it's disorder. God, we serve a God of order. So when there are things set up, processes to be followed, and you go contrary to that to gain some kind of fame for yourself, the Lord wasn't doing that. It was Satan. No for certainty. All right, go ahead.
Keep on reading. What verse you at?
We read
verse 60. Read 61.
Yes, sir. Verse 61. First Maccabees chapter 5, verse 61. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren.
They were not what?
Obedient unto Judas and his brethren.
Just like Cap said, it has to be an order. It has to be an order amongst the children of Israel of everything gonna fall down to the ground. Every last thing. We don't.
But thought to do some valiant act.
What?
But thought to do some valiant act.
So these are the mindless spirits that can trouble Israel though. We gotta always examine ourselves about all these different. I looked at these. Look, hey, put them back up there real quick. Look at all these like similar words though. Like I like the pig ignorant one too. You got thoughtless. And what was that? That was a thoughtless act that they did. They weren't thinking about nobody. How can that relate to y'all today, brothers? Now, right here, there was physical. They died. You know what I'm saying? Because what they didn't basically follow order. They wanted to do something themselves. How can that transfer in here today? I'm saying it right. Got a mic? Officer. Go get the mic. Oh, you got a mic already?
Yes, sir.
Shalom,
Right, officer. Yeah, man, it can translate today where we're given certain instructions from leadership. And when we go against those instructions, it can be at a disadvantage to the body. For example, if, brothers are in security, and of course, security is important for the safety of, the family here in the body. And if we go against certain protocols because we want to do some thoughtless act, an act that is not given to us by our overseers, and the result of that act might result in, brothers and sisters being hurt. So these are the things we have to be mindful of, sir.
Okay. You got it open? Nahum. Hey, stand up.
Shalom, leadership. It's an everyday process so far as on your job, in any type of organization that you get yourself into. There's rules and regulation to everything that you do. I mean, there's order in anything that you do on your job. And if you go against what the policy is or whatnot, there's disciplinary action behind everything you do. So that pretty much sums it up to.
Okay, I guess. Go ahead, Cap.
What is a biblical term for that? Does anybody know? Starts with the letter S.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
Self-will.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving self-willed. Did you have that script? 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10.
Come on.
But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, They are not afraid to speak evil of dignity.
So it's not, self-willingness comes with a lot of other spirits as well, is what the officer is going into. It's not just one synonym for being mindless. The same way it's not one synonym for being self-willed. Read some of those.
Willful, contrary.
Contrary. So there's an order set up, right? When you're self-willed, you go contrary to the order set up. Go ahead.
Perverse.
Uh-huh.
Uncooperative.
Uncooperative.
Wayward.
I think Brother Nahum mentioned on the job. Do bosses like uncooperative employees? No. On any job, anywhere. You can't, if you are the fry cook at McDonald's, you walk in there and say, you know what, I'm going to start throwing these burgers on the grill out back. No, it's going to go haywire. Am I right? You bring in your little Weber grill from the house trying to, like, come on. No, you will be fired that day. So it's telling you the same way being mindless and self-willed is going contrary to order. Read some more.
Headstrong.
What? Wait. The scripture says you should not be self-willed at all. But here's the thing. Real quick, Titus 1, verse 7. Titus 1, verse 7.
Titus chapter 1, verse 7.
Come on.
For a bishop must be blameless.
Who knows what it means to be a bishop? Leo.
A bishop means being a leader.
Leader,
Yes,
right? Go ahead, read that again.
For a bishop For a bishop must be blameless.
Must be blameless.
As the steward of God.
Uh-huh.
Not self-willed.
So in order to be a leader, right, you cannot be self-willed. Go back to some of those synonyms again. Go back to self-willed. There it is. You cannot be uncooperative. You cannot be contrary. You cannot be difficult, naughty, cussed, pig-headed. You can't be those things. Because before you have the title of a leader, you have to have those characteristics in order to be considered to be a leader. Everybody understand that? You don't become a leader or a bishop and then gain the qualities we just read. You would have had to have obtained them prior. Then the leaders over you see those qualities and you're like, hey, this brother's moving like a leader right here. Meaning you're already exemplifying those characteristics that go along with being a bishop or a leader. So one thing you can't be is self-willed. Otherwise, you'll be considered mindless. Everybody understand that?
Hey, go back to Maccabees again. Where we at? Verse 61 again?
Yes, sir. First Maccabees chapter 5, verse 61. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren.
Read on.
But thought to do some valiant act.
Read.
Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those.
So what does that mean, brothers? These men, they came not of the seed of those men. Officer, go ahead. You got the mic. Stand up.
Yes, sir. It means that they weren't a part of the Hasmonean dynasty.
So basically, they wasn't chosen to do that. That's why the Lord overthrew that. So it's the same thing. If you self-will, even in the reason why another reason why I pulled this scripture also is because these brothers, they didn't have the love for the people. So if you don't have the love for the people, you can ruin somebody's spirit. And he ruined thousands. They ruined thousands of people's spirit. Thousands of brothers and sisters died. So how is that going in here today? Because on how we treat one another, it comes out of our. If you go back to Mindless again, if you have this spirit on you to not think of your brethren, it can lead to what? Hatred, murder. Because you trying to gain something, just like these brothers here. They try to gain try to make themselves something. They'll basically do whatever they want to do to make themselves appear like they somebody, and they nothing. That's the same spirit that can lead to a hatred spirit. Give me 1 John. We all know this one, 3:15.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hated this brother is a murderer.
So we done heard this many a time. This verse many a time. Whosoever hated his brother is a murderer. These brothers hated their brothers to the point to have thousands die. Y'all gotta put yourself back in that time though. And then guess what? Back then it was a lot of yes men too. How you think a lot of them followed them and they got what? They got killed. Why? Because everybody wanna be the head Negro in charge. The sister wanna be the only one to make the head wrap 10 feet in the air. And then won't tell nobody how to do it. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Read what you got again. He that what?
Whosoever hated this brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
So, hey, you got that movie I want? It ain't that long. So basically, they try to make a name for themselves, and they ended up destruction because the Lord is about order. Now, this little short clip, whoever seen the movie The Gray with Liam Neeson? It ain't no werewolf movie. It's a wolf. So now you have
So it's a movie about Benjamin? Huh? So the whole movie's about the tribe of Benjamin. You said it's about a wolf, brother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
He like, nah, it ain't that kind of movie, bro.
Hey, matter of fact, I pull up. I forgot to tell you. Pull up the movie. I'm not movie, but the definition. Wolf Omega. Let's read what that is first before we watch that little short part, because it's all about order on how we treat one another. You know what I'm saying? Everything got to be in order, or the Lord ain't gonna deal with it. Read what you got. What that says.
The Omega living with wolves. In most wolf packs, there will be an alpha male and female, and frequently an omega male.
That ain't one. I looked up another one. That ain't. Let me see. It basically said like that one. I want that one.
What is an omega wolf? An omega wolf is essential for the survival of a pack, even though it occupies the lowest rank.
So these men, they were lower than Judas and Jonathan, though. They supposed to be like the lowest ranked men. They don't supposed to be trying to make themselves like they somebody. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of spirits like that in here, though. Everybody trying to make themselves somebody, but they don't know if they might be offending somebody. That's why you got to always examine yourself on what you saying to this brother, what you saying to this sister. Go ahead.
This wolf's instinctive mission is to diffuse hostilities and lower tensions within the pack. It serves as the scapegoat, the target of the rest of the pack's social aggression.
So that's what he's supposed to be, right? Now, it said he of the Lord's rank. Now, go to the movie. Just like these brothers in Maccabee try to make a name for themselves, what happened? They got the people killed, right? It's a short clip, like 1 minute and 47 seconds. Go ahead. So this the wolf. He came up to the camp where they would had the little fire going. But this the Omega wolf though. You know what I'm saying? He the head Negro in charge. So what you doing breaking order for? Go ahead. Trying to make a name for himself. He gotta impress the alpha though. See, Omega dead now. Trying to make a name for himself, just like these Negroes in the Bible. Oh, I forgot. It's a little blood. Yeah, it ain't that much though. It's dark.
I think you got him.
Turn it up. Everybody over there.
I think I lost a nail.
Is that the big one? That big fucker.
So how you say that's the big one. That's
not
not
the alpha.
that's not the
Loudcast. They sent it in
right.
to test you, Diaz.
You see how he said that's not the main dude.
You fucking piss!
Oh, forget the language, y'all. I forgot about that. See, if he would have stayed in order, he would have been howling just like Benjamin, huh? Hey, you can end it right there. But my whole thing is, like, when you try to do something yourself, you're gonna end up getting murked out of order. Omega, he was out of order. He need to be around them. But he got what he got. But go ahead, go back to First Maccabees. I want to show that real quick.
You want verse 62
again? 62 again, yes.
First Maccabees chapter 5, verse 62.
Come on.
Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those, but whose hand deliverance was given unto Israel.
Good. Because who's there? It was dark though. It was dark. The screen was dark for real.
What the hell just happened?
Hey, he got light skin though. Yeah, you part of the.
They did my whole 15 minutes with the captains dark as hell.
Damn, you gotta do it over then.
Now Officer Joe will show up. It's now light skin on the screen.
Damn.
The hatred is real for the tribe of Benjamin. Play the wolf again.
Hey, he said play the. Oh damn, y'all about to play it for real too. Nah, don't play it, bro. Everybody gonna get crunk. We got about what? One or two Benjamites in here. That's it. Okay. Hey, keep on reading. Go back and read it one more time. Then we'll go to the next.
Verse 62. Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those by whose hand deliverance was given unto Israel.
Those hands who gonna deliver the people was the Maccabees. It wasn't those men. You know what I'm saying? It's all about order. Now, give me so go back to Mindless again. I'm gonna keep putting it up there to paint a picture in y'all head on, like, you have, I'm finna read just some of them. Brain Dead. You have keep on going down. It's a couple of them. Empty-headed, stupid, unthinking, thoughtless, unreasoning, and you got careless. Now, we're gonna go into a little history real quick. We know our forefather Saul, but we're gonna show you how that spirit that he had, it jumped on generations of his of Benjamin. Go to 1 Samuel chapter 18. Right there. Those spirit that these are the spirits that you don't want to get, because those spirits like they heavy, you know what I'm saying? If you don't check yourself, meaning, for example, you could be stupid towards your neighbor. You can be dumb towards your neighbor, meaning you can act dumb or whatever. You could be thoughtless, meaning that you don't care about your neighbor. Just like these men in Maccabees. You could be thoughtless, meaning that you don't care. The brothers don't help brothers out when they need help moving. You know, brothers don't show up to no events at the school. Sisters don't help sisters with the head wrap. You know, on y'all little Israel Kitchen channel. Y'all, I know about that channel. I know y'all be on there. Yep, and y'all don't help the sisters with the little meals and nothing. You might see them put up the little ingredients, but you know, real sister be like, "Hey sis, let me call you. You know, let me take you step by step." You know what I'm saying? You got to be thinking about the people, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't just put the ingredients up. Some people can't even read the ingredients like that. What you got? What I had you get?
1 Samuel 18. You didn't say what verse yet, or?
It just let me see, make sure. Yeah, 18 and 28. 28.
1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 28. And Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David.
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
And that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David. and Saul became David's enemy continually.
So, you know, Saul had that jealous spirit, hatred spirit. Damn near all those spirits that we see on the screen right there. You know what I'm saying? But that developed over time. That's why Bishop be coming out with the classes. Hey, you got to examine those spirits you're dealing with. You got to examine these different things that we dealing with, because it might be on some of you. I don't know. It might be on some of y'all online right now. But we got to always examine these spirits daily, because, hey, you might dealt with some in the world. You know what I'm saying? That you don't want to tell nobody but the Lord. But, hey, you got to tell the Lord, though. Read on.
Verse 30. Then the princes of the...
Like, go to 1 Samuel 19. Read verse 1.
Yes, sir. 1 Samuel chapter 19, verse 1. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David.
So now, now hatred turns to what? Brothers, wake up, huh? Turn to murder, right? So now you got that spirit on him. Like, all these things he didn't think about, like, hey, the Lord might kill me. This brother ain't did nothing to me. You know, he ain't thinking about that. I might offend David. He ain't thinking about offending David that many times. You see what he did? He shot a bow and arrow at David, but he ain't thinking about, hey, just think about a brother or sister doing that in the truth. I ain't talking about no bow and arrow, but I'm talking about offending somebody. I'm talking about you hurt somebody's feeling and you don't examine yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just like they said, you thoughtless up there, meaning you don't got no, you senseless, meaning you don't got no mind to think like, oh, this person might fall out because of me, because of my words. Because the tongue is, y'all know what the Bible says about the tongue, though. The tongue is real heavy. But these are the thoughts that would never come in his head, though. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Read on.
Verse 2. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And
I just wanted verse 1. Now, go to, now, this is where the hatred started with the Benjamites. And right there. All right. Now, go to 2 Samuel 3. Let's start at verse 1. Hold on, let me get it real quick. I'm just showing y'all how, if you don't deal with the spirit, how it can basically go in your kids, go in your best friend, and then they can jump on other people. But it all started with you, though. Because we not examining ourselves. We got that mindless spirit in us, meaning we don't give a damn about the nation of Israel. We don't give a damn about offending one another. And that can lead all the way to hatred. Not speaking to one another on the Sabbath. New people come in, don't nobody say shalom. Y'all just go talk to one another on the Sabbath. But you got all these new brothers sitting in there, all these new sisters sitting there, nobody don't say nothing. They gonna be like, damn, this supposed to be a family? I ain't coming back here, man. They only talking to each other. All right, read what you got. What I got you get?
2 Samuel chapter 3. You didn't say the verse.
All right, let me see. Yeah, start at verse 1.
2 Samuel chapter...
Only going to read verse 1.
Yes, sir. 2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 1. Now there was long war between the house of Saul.
It was what?
Between the house of Saul.
It was how long?
There was a long war.
Okay.
Between the house of Saul.
Read.
And the house of David. But David waxed stronger and stronger. And the house of Saul waxed weaker and weaker.
So the part I wanted out there is, ever since David, not David, but ever since Saul started hating David, now the war's coming in between the tribes, though. Now it says that it's a long war. And it's all started off of what? Out of him not having that spirit in him. He got a mindless soul, man. His spirit just gone. Now that can escalate. Like, that's why I gave y'all the example. Y'all got kids. You know what I'm saying? You got older kids. You got brothers in the truth, sisters in the truth. That stuff can jump on them. That thing, is jump on somebody else, and you never check that spirit. Y'all understand? Now, Now I want you to jump to 2 Samuel 3 and 20. This same book.
Verse 20. So Abner came to David to Hebron, and 20 men with him. And David made Abner and the men that were with him a feast.
So now Abner is one of Saul's sons, though. So, David, he didn't want that blood like that. He trying to, have what's the word I'm looking for? He trying to basically, like the war been going on long and long. So in his mind, he said, I want to have a feast. Now jump to verse 27.
Verse 27. And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him there under the 5th rib.
So I'm just jumping, but so Joab was David's right-hand man, if y'all don't know about it. So Abner came to David, they was going to have a feast. But of course, Joab basically didn't like Abner. So that thing, it's all stemmed because of what? I said it earlier. Say it again. It all stems because of hatred. That's all. That's what it stems into. Read on.
That he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother. And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord forever from the blood of Abner, the son of Ner.
So the thing that all that stems from brothers not having that they what it says, pig, ignorant, unthinking. Ain't nobody thinking on how that can affect somebody in the long run. Like I'm talking about how we speak to one another. You know what I'm saying? And the order in the school and how we speak to one another. It goes a long way more than y'all know. So that's why we gotta always examine ourselves. Every day. Brothers and sisters. You got something? Good. Give me Proverbs. So basically, I went to the Maccabee to show you how they physically broke order and got their brethren killed. The wicked brothers that tried to take over and got their brothers killed based off of what? They ain't want no order. They had hatred in their heart. Why? Because they got their own people killed. That's crazy, man. Y'all gotta look at that thing, man. Out of order can get you killed. Read on. What got you get? Oh, Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15. Let me see. Verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 7. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so.
Read again.
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge.
Quick question based off of what we've been going over. It says the lips of the wise will disperse knowledge. Like y'all know about what we've been talking about since we read Maccabees. So when it says, just give me an example of when it said the lips of the wise disperse knowledge, meaning like. I'm bad at giving an example. I want to give it away though. I ain't trying to give it away. He said the lips of the wise would disperse knowledge. How would you disperse knowledge into your neighbor? According to the scriptures that we read. Look at your notes. Y'all taking notes. Josiah. Also Josiah. Mike ain't on.
Yes, sir. It would have to be done in the spirit of the Lord, not being self-willed. So when we disperse in the knowledge, we have to make sure that the knowledge that we're dispersing is in accordance to the instructions that we receive from leadership.
Okay. Well, I need a more easy answer. Anybody else? Sister. Where the mic? Give the sister the mic.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
By being like Titus 1:7 says, being a bishop, being a leader.
Oh, okay. Anybody else? Read that again. Oh, we got one more hand. Then we'll move on.
Shalom. I would say like Psalms 101 and 2.
Yeah, what did that say?
To walk within my house with a perfect heart.
Right. That's good. You gotta, that's the only way you're gonna give out. It said the lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doth not so, meaning give me one of them synonyms again. I think one of them got foolish on there. Yeah, mindless, yeah. I think I seen. What about thoughtless? Click on thoughtless. Right at the bottom. There you go. Right on the right. Right there. Synonyms. Carelessness, selfishness. One of them supposed to say foolish. I thought I had it written down. But go back. We ain't gonna linger on that one.
You want to read that again, officer?
Yes, sir.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 7. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so.
So if you're a wise brother, you would disperse knowledge on how to deal with one another and how to keep the structure in the school, because the Lord is about what? He's about order, right? Like I'm going over two different things. It's order and it's on how we deal with each other. So it said, read one more time.
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so.
Because the foolish is going to be not caring about their nation, not caring about their people. They gonna have all these attributes. So that's what the word foolish. I know I seen it up there. Yeah, I don't have me missing the one word, man. Read it one more time, officer.
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so.
So you have to have knowledge when we dealing with one another. They're gonna only help you keep the order though. Because guess what? If you don't disperse knowledge within each other, what you gonna be thinking about? Huh? Like how? Like I need an example though. Like let's say with you and the brother talking right here. Like you and I'm bad with that name. Huh? Zachariah. Let's say y'all talking, right? And it said the lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doth not so. How would you know that he's not dispersing knowledge to you? Oh, yeah, get on the mic. Stand up.
If he's talking over me, he's not letting me get my points out.
That's one of them.
If none of his conversation is uplifting or edifying.
And y'all, okay. You got any more? Leah got some more.
If I'm not speaking according to Lord God's word.
Thank you. That's it. Yeah, man. Hey, that's it though. Everybody, go ahead, Cap.
Yeah, that you both are absolutely right. It's because it's a combination of things, right? Real quick, Proverbs 20. I want to start at verse 15. The book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 15, because it deals with both sides. It deals with both sides, right?
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 15. There is gold and a multitude of rubies.
Now, these are very expensive, precious stones and metals. No one can dispute that, right? Go ahead.
But the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel.
Wait a minute. So the lips of knowledge is far, it kind of gives the same resemblance to Proverbs chapter 31 with the woman, right? It talks about the virtuous woman who's more precious than rubies. So how does she deal? She deals right with her husband. She deals right with her children. She deals right with those she does business with. It's the same thing with all of us. It says there's gold and there's a multitude of rubies. But read that bottom part, but the lips
of knowledge are a precious jewel.
Because like Lael said, it's according to the words of God. Like Zachariah said, it's uplifting. It's not trying to quench anyone's spirit, right? But then here's the flip side. Start at here's another part of that first part, verse 18.
Verse 18. Every purpose is established by counsel.
So, in order to show that you have lips of wisdom, right? You're going to go to those who've been doing it way longer than you. Here's something that I see sometimes. Brothers and sisters get their counsel about extreme matters from their lateral peers.
Man.
Your lateral peers. Meaning, if you've been in the truth 6 months, your counselor is someone who's been in the truth 6.5 months. They know exactly what you know. Don't think because the person may know a few more precepts, they haven't gained the experience to utilize all of those precepts that they know. Some of those who are very inept with memorization, some of those same people fall out the truth. The same way some of those who don't know as much fall out the truth. There's no one who's totally safeguarded against Satan's attempts. We just have to keep girding ourselves up every single day, killing the old man, fighting the fight, not giving up. Everybody understand that? It's a daily thing, because guess what? Satan's attack, let's say it might be by the mouth today. Tomorrow may be through your wife. The next day going to be through your job. The next day going to be through a brother or sister who fall out that you was cool with. He's not going to have the same game plan. It's like the football, what do you call it, the playbook. For every defense that they have, you have an offensive play to try to go around that defense. That's exactly how it's set up. So, one of those ways to make sure that your lips of knowledge are as a precious jewel, you'll counsel correctly. Make sense? You'll counsel correctly. Go ahead.
Verse 19. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets.
So, here's the flip side. When your lips aren't filled with knowledge. Because the same thing that, like Zechariah said, your speech should edify, right? So the contrary to that is, as I said, it shows both sides. The contrary is you using those same lips to spread people's business. Talebearer just means gossip. So with that same mouth, you can build up or destroy. Everybody understand that, right? But keep reading.
Therefore, meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips.
Wait a minute. So that person who runs and tells people's business, it tells you that he does it through flattery, or she does it through flattery, meaning they have the gift of gab to help you to let your guard down. You understand that, right? So then you start revealing certain things because you think this brother or this sister is upright. But it says it's by flattery. Don't fall for flattery. Everybody understand that? Don't fall for flattery. It's vain. It's vain, because that same person that flatters you today is the same one that will be the devil doing videos about you tomorrow. The same exact one. They'll put your face will be the thumbnail like this.
For 5 months straight.
Not letting up. And you're like, what did I do to this brother? Sister's like, what did I do to this sister? Right? Like, yeah, I went to her apartment. She got roaches. And you're like, what the hell? I'll let you stay at my place. Yeah, a damn water bug flew through the window. But she making it seem like you got an infestation.
She offended.
Y'all understand that, right? With the same mouth. Go ahead.
Therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. Verse 20. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness.
So now, meaning you won't get the kingdom. But what do you curse your mother or father with? Huh? With your mouth. Remember, the topic is we talking about this the mouth. Right. With your mother and your father, you cussing them out, whatever the case may be. In Sirach, I think it's chapter 3, it tells you can't even repay your parents for what they did to you. That's why you should always honor them. There's nothing they could have given you greater than life. I don't care how your daddy raised you. I don't care if he left you. I don't care if your mama was on crack. I don't care. You cannot repay them for the life you have now. Despite how jacked up it may be, okay, you could have been aborted. right or wrong. But yet, the Most High allowed them to conceive you, to have you here as a son and daughter of the living God. How you going to pay that back? You can't. You can't. So you honor them by what? By you keeping the commandments, you not slandering, you not showing hatred or harming them. And that all begins with your thoughts and your speech. Make sense?
So we have another one that says, like, the thoughts. It says thoughtless. Give me Psalms 119, verse 113.
Psalm chapter 119, verse 113.
Come on.
I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love.
Y'all see that? God say he hates your vain thoughts, man. But what? You have to meditate on the law. That's the only way you're going to stay level-headed. I say it like that. Only way you're going to stay level-headed, you got to examine what's going on in your everyday life, bro, when you're dealing with with your neighbor. Read it one more time.
I hate vain thoughts.
So you have to hate that thing, though. So how do you hate vain thoughts? I need anybody got a scripture? I just want a scripture to go with it. Somebody give me a scripture.
Hey, listen, it's cool to give it a shot. Be strong and wrong. It's the only way you're going to figure it out.
Sirach, I think it's Sirach 6 and 23.
What's your name, bro?
Brother Shiloh. I think Sirach 6 and 23 about meditating.
Okay. You said Sirach 6 and 23?
Yeah, is that it? Huh? Sorry? Yeah, 32. I think it's 32.
Oh, you talking about Sirach 6 and 32?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can read that for him.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
37.
Verse 37.
That went in. I thought that was a nice one right there.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart, and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
Yeah, I like that one there. That's real.
Fire precept.
Yeah. So you're only going to get wisdom if you desire it. Meaning you got to meditate on the law. He said, but thy law do I love. That's the only way you're going to get wisdom. You got a question?
I was going to try to get another precept.
All right, go ahead.
Proverbs 15 and 26.
Can we read that, Officer, real quick?
Yes, sir.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 26. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words.
Go ahead. Yeah, verse 26.
Verse 26.
15, 26.
Yes, sir. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 26. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words.
Break it down.
Yes, sir. So as we were speaking of the I hate vain thoughts, those vain thoughts are coming from the wicked person, but those pure thoughts are coming from those who keeping the commandments.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's good. Officer Josiah, go ahead.
Can I get one, officer?
Yes, sir.
Joshua 1 and verse 8.
Yep.
Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
So the book of the law is the Bible. And it goes back into what Captain was saying about the things that we speak, being a talebearer, being a gossiper, cursing against our mother and our father. It's we can avoid these things if we continue to keep the book of the law in our mouth, meaning what we have to speak as the oracles of God. Come on.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
And that's how we can avoid the vain thoughts. If we keep our mind focused in the scriptures and on the Bible, we can filter out those vain thoughts, those sinful and foolish thoughts that come in our mind.
Hey, and that's a good point. And that's how if you really meditate, I'm pretty sure all y'all brothers, y'all in the New Brother Telegram, and that's where the questions come in at. If you meditating though, if y'all ain't asking no questions, sisters, that go for y'all too with your senior sisters. Y'all ain't asking no questions. You really meditating? I know y'all don't know everything in this Bible now. Come on now. Well, what you got, officer? Matter of fact, no, go to that word, click on that word pig ignorant. I like that word. Go to see what it says. I don't think that word translates to something else in the Bible. Go, not foolish. You ain't foolish. Go back to mindless. Yeah, that word is in the Bible, but it's a synonym for it. There it is, over there in the corner. What they say?
Dang. Pig ignorant, extremely stupid or uneducated.
Jeremiah 4:22. Jeremiah 4:22. It translates to this, man. Like we don't want to have these spirits like this though. Pig ignorant, man. Somebody might call me that.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children.
They are what?
They are sottish children.
Sottish mean you stupid. That going for you have that. So what was Saul was? He had that mindset of the Lord on staying on the Lord. He knew the order. I mean, he knew David was the Lord was dealing with David. He knew all that. You know what I'm saying? He just got to bow down. Ain't the right cap. Benji got to bow down. Yes, sir. Ain't the right Josiah. Officer Josiah. Ain't the right.
It's so much hatred on this leadership podium. It's crazy, man. Hey, I ain't seen my brother in a minute, and this is all I get. I tell you.
Hey. Read on.
And they have known understanding. They have none understanding.
Read on.
They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
So you don't want to have that spirit on you, but in order to keep that spirit on off of you, you have to do what? We just had like hella precepts just then. Meditate on the law, day and night. Don't be around wickedness. Stay in this book, because that's the only way you're gonna see what you gonna be battling with. I'm telling you, like you gonna go outside that door. It might be something that just fly by you. That it might be a sin you don't even know it because you're not in the book. You know what I'm saying? The order is what? Meditate continually day and night. So if you ain't doing that, you got to really examine yourself. Now, flip side. I know we got 20 more minutes. Hebrews chapter 10. Like how to avoid some of this stuff. That like the pick.
How you were going into the vain thoughts, right?
Yes, sir.
One quick scripture. Don't lose your thought. Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 11. So you were saying we got to stay upon the laws, things of that nature, right? To remove the vain thoughts. But again, we got to deal with the flip side. Verse 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 11. Seeing there be many things that increase vanity, what is man the better?
So, if you have vain thoughts, you have to also be aware that there are things that will increase that vanity. It'll make it worse. You know how I think everyone can relate. You will have a thought of something you may have done in the world that, according to what you know now, was wrong. Whatever it is, whether it's partying on the Sabbath, drinking, whatever, right? Drugs, whatever the case may be. But here's the thing. You know in your spirit that you were wrong then. But the thought goes beyond that initial thought. You start thinking about, man, I was the man back then. Man, I remember I did that every week. Boy, you were crazy back then, boy. We begin to entertain it. So read that verse again.
seeing there be many things that increase vanity.
So if you have vain thoughts, you know you have vain thoughts. Entertaining the thoughts only makes it worse. Because now Satan is like, oh, okay, I couldn't get him with adultery. Okay. I couldn't get him with drugs. I couldn't get him with covetousness. Okay. But guess what? He likes having, or she likes having, these vain thoughts. Now, and we read in Proverbs, the thought of foolishness is what? So he got you anyway. Y'all see the point? We think, oh, I didn't go out and do this, but you're entertaining it. So now your thoughts are sinful. It tells you that there's things you can do to increase vanity. You can increase it. So the minute you have that thought about something you did back in your old man life that you know you shouldn't have been doing, the minute you have that thought, put it away. Put it away. Oh, that's wicked as hell. You got to talk to yourself. Look crazy as hell at work if you need to. You walking through the warehouse, you have a vain thought. Man, that's wicked as hell. They're like, what you said, Chauncey? Huh? What you said? Oh, nah, I'm just talking to myself. You know, at work, they know him as Chauncey. Here, you mighty Zachariah. Nah, at work, you Chauncey, bro. Your name tag says Chauncey. Okay? You Chauncey. But my point is, this is things, and Deacon Malachi had a heavy class a few weeks back called Summertime Lust, where he said we have to train ourselves to hate the evil. That goes into our thoughts as well. Y'all understand that? When you have that vain thought, you got to be like, damn, that was wicked as hell. Because if you hate the old man you used to be or the old woman you used to be, and you know it was wicked, don't entertain the thought, because then you'll still be guilty of sin. Make sense? All praise.
Hebrews 10. Get a couple of scriptures before we close out. Oh, how?
Man, we going all night.
Hebrews chapter 10. Let's start at verse 24.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24.
Come on.
And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works.
So you got we have to provoke one another to love and to good work. What is the works? Hey, I don't believe y'all. Like, how you know that? I mean, I need a script. Officer Josiah, you cannot answer it. Need some brothers, these strong brothers over here in the front. What about Nahum? What's going on with you? I see you back there, kind of for a precept.
Romans 7:12.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? What you want to read?
That's what you get for calling me out. Hold that precept, bruh.
Anybody else? Oh, man, come on now. All y'all said the law now, and everybody ain't got there but one person. All y'all said the law. What's the works? Oh, anyway, that what you had? Read it again, man. Yes. Matter of fact, what's that one? It's in Sirach. Hold on, I'm gonna get this real. It's Hey, Officer Heem, you got that precept?
Second Esdras or Sirach?
About the works.
It's one of Second Esdras.
Despise thy works. The one about Moses and the people despise the work. Yeah, that. Yeah, that's the one I want. Second Esdras.
Mm-hmm. Second Esdras chapter 7, verse 24. But his law have they despised, and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works.
So the works is the laws of God. These are the things we need to be talking about amongst each other to get each other right. That's what y'all got to all. Now go back to Hebrews chapter 10.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 20
again.
Verse 24.
Yes.
And let us consider one another.
Let us what?
Let us consider one another.
So in order for us to get by in this captivity, we got to consider one another. That's what we have to do. We can't fight this fight alone. If you don't ask questions right, you come here and do some stuff out of order. They were like, damn, bro, you didn't know? They was out of order? No. I mean, did you ask somebody? No. Like, sisters be all out of order. They don't know because they don't ask no questions. But this says, read that part again.
And let us consider one another.
So that's going into, we already know how we was in the world. Yeah, we used to do everything ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I started driving a car all by myself. I hit a couple of things, but my granddad just said, go to the damn store, bro. I went to the store, hit everything, man. But my point is, like, we got to get out of that worldly mentality, and that's the only way we're gonna survive in this truth, man. We got to read that one more time. Keep on reading.
Yes, sir. Verse 24.
Yeah.
And let us consider one another.
Come on.
To provoke unto love and to good works.
Read on.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Not what?
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
So you can't forsake law class. I mean, back to the basics class. You can't forsake the new moons, the feast days. Even if it ain't no high holy day, go hang out with the brothers. That's gonna keep your mind off of that idleness demon you battle with. That way Satan gonna be like, man, he always around these dudes all the time. This sister always around these. I can't get up. I can't get her by myself. Because you're not forsaking the assembly. Read on.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Read.
As the manner of some is. But exhorting one another.
But what?
But exhorting one another.
That's what we got to get used to doing. That's the only way we're not going to have these little spirits, these little pig, ignorant spirits, and all this little crazy, like the most I call it, sottish children. We got to always exhort one another. Like, hey, bro, you did good last week, man. You gave that answer back to the basics, bro. How you knew that answer, bro? I like that. Can I get that precept? You know what I'm saying? You got to exhort one another.
And so much the more, as ye see the day approaching.
So we got to gather ourselves together. Give me Philippians 1. And we're going to start at verse 9. We're going to read 9 and 10.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 9. And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment.
Read.
That ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere.
Maybe what?
That ye may be sincere and without offense to the day of Christ.
So you can't be fake, man. You can't be fake. You know, if you exhort the brothers, don't be doing it because you're trying to make a name for yourself or you got some kind of agenda. The Lord said be sincere. Guess what? That take application. Sisters, that take application. You got to be sincere all the time. These are the two greatest commandments. Lord the Lord thy God with all your heart and love thy neighbor as thyself. Lord, know them the two hardest things we can do. Love our neighbor as ourselves. That's the only way we're gonna basically stay in order. Basically, you got to correct one another. Sister, y'all got to correct one another. Stay in order. It has to be an order or everything will go bad.
Sisters ain't correcting each other.
Damn.
Hey, real quick, I want to turkey back. Hey, I came across
All
problems
then.
today.
All righty.
Y'all thought I was gonna have a little calm back to basics class. No, Benji came to cause problems.
That's right.
Nah. 1 John 1 and 7. Back to your point about the fellowship, right? In Rome, I think it's Romans 12, preferring one another. 12 and 10, I think it is. Paul tells us to prefer one another. So I know, don't get me wrong, we understand that brothers and sisters have to work and there are other obligations. But in all honesty, man, as much as the school is open, if those are not the reasons you're not here, you should take advantage of it. Because this is the building up of your most holy faith. The back to basics classes, they're gonna give you the things you need, because the angels aren't gonna say you have to break down Daniel 7 to me in order to get into the kingdom. That's not gonna be the discussion. It's gonna be, are you keeping the commandments of faith in the Son? the black Messiah, Jesus the Christ. That's what it's going to be based off of when the books are open in Revelation 21. When the books are open, you're being judged against the commandments of God, right? So 1 John 1 and verse 7.
1 John chapter 1, verse 7. But if we walk in the light.
So now, is everybody here walking in the light? Raise your hand. If you're walking in the light, raise your hand. Hi, everybody, right? Okay, all praises. Go ahead.
But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light.
Christ is in the light. Christ is the light, correct? Look at what it says.
We have fellowship one with another.
Wait a minute. Hold on. If we followers of Christ, we believe in Christ, we believe he is the light. It says we have fellowship one with another. Go ahead.
And the blood of Jesus Christ, his son, cleanseth us from all sin.
So we can't believe the top part and the bottom part, knowing that Christ's blood cleanses of all our sins, and not believe the fellowship part. Everybody understand that? We can't have the top and the end without acknowledging the middle. So as much as we gather together, or excuse me, have the ability to gather together, we should take advantage. We should take advantage. Because guess what? You ain't going to get this from Big Mama's cookout, where she got pork ribs on the grill stinking up your nostrils.
Ain't Lucy house.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get this. You're building up your most holy faith, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that's going on out there that could pull us out at any minute, any day. So as much armor as you can gain to put on to fight off those fiery darts, you better come get it. So imagine every time you come is another piece of armor you're being given. Today it may be the elbow part. Next week it may be the shoulders. Next week it may be the breastplate. It may be the shield, the helmet of salvation. Every time you come, it's another part of armor that you're getting.
Philippians, go back to Philippians, read 10 and verse 11.
Philippians chapter 1, what was it? Chapter 1?
1 and 10.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 10. That ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense till the day of Christ.
Read.
Being filled with the fruits of righteousness.
So if you sincere, and it says, and without offense to the day of Christ, you have the what?
Being filled with the fruits of righteousness,
Read.
Which are by Jesus Christ, unto the glory and praise of God.
I know we in the law class now. It said you're gonna be filled with the fruits of righteousness. What's righteousness? Oh, Officer Josiah, I already know you. Get to the young brother in the back. Precept.
Precept. You got Luke 1 and 6.
We're on fire right there.
Yeah. And Deuteronomy 6:25.
All praise. Y'all write. Make sure y'all write them down. Let me see. Like that Luke 1:26 says that.
Which one you want first, Officer? Old and new?
Just read Luke 1.
Yes, sir. Luke chapter 1, verse 6. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless.
So it said go ahead. You explain it.
Oh.
I want you to explain it.
Well, that's basically saying that
it's explanatory.
To be righteous, you have to be walking in the commandments.
Okay. Can
you be closer?
Say it one more time.
I was saying that to be righteous, you need to be walking in the commandments.
All right. All praises. All praises. That's good. Go back. Got one more scripture and we'll get some questions. Matter of fact, this is going to get it. Sirach chapter 5. Because we read in Philippians that you got to do all these things in sincerity of Christ. Other than that, hey, what you here for? You know what I'm saying? You got to be sincere in this walk. You got to know about what order is and how to deal with one another. Go ahead. Sirach chapter 5, verse. Start at 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same.
See, our word got to be the same. What our words can't be different. The order has to be the same. The way how we treat one another got to be the same. And what does that come with? Application. But we have to be honest with ourselves, because our Cap said, hey, you go outside these doors, Satan just all around you, ready to sift you as wheat. Read again.
Be steadfast in thy understanding.
So you got to be steadfast in the understanding, which is the laws of God. You have to be steadfast, or you're gonna be having problems in this truth. You're gonna always have a problem in this truth. Read on.
And let thy word be the same.
Read.
Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere.
Oh, he said, "What? Let your what be sincere?
And let thy life be sincere."
But you got to be swift to hear first, though. What you gonna be hearing? The word, the wonderful works of the Lord, the Bible. Read on.
And with patience give answer.
So with patience, you're gonna know how to deal with your neighbor. With patience, you're gonna be like, wait, man, hold on, that's out of order, bro. Like, but why? Because it says you have to be sincere, meaning listen, then you be able to give a precise answer. Yeah, that's out of order, sister. Yeah, that's out of order, brother. That's not how we do things, you know what I'm saying, according to God. The order is something. That's what the Bible says. Y'all understand that? Cap, you got anything else? Let me see. You got any questions online and on out in the audience? You got questions online? Yeah, we're online. Here's the other brothers and sisters online. 65. You thought it was it? Oh no, yeah. Yeah, we do both of those. Go ahead.
Shalom, officer. Help me with something.
Go ahead.
How can I put this? Sometimes we hear stuff from other people and it may not sit well with us, but if I'm not the type of person to get butt hurt by what somebody say, why not just blow it off?
So, I mean, your spirit might be like that. I mean, you basically saying if you can do it, somebody else can do it. Nah, everybody ain't the same. Nah, the scripture said you can fear the little ones. Your faith might be stronger. You might can. Cause I take harsh words from Captain all the time. But I can tell you, I can take it though. Everybody that's not built like that. You gotta. Oh, another way you can get built like that. We just read it though. Not forsake the assembly. Some brothers you gotta know what to say around them. Meaning that I know some brothers that I can't be telling jokes around them. They get offended easily. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own. That's why you gotta not forsake the assembly, sister. Y'all gotta understand sisters though. It's not saying y'all don't need to be hanging around them. No, it's just certain things you can say around brothers and sisters. But you got to understand the brother that you talking to. That makes sense. Everybody can't be like you, bro. Any more questions?
Well, here's the thing. You made mention that basically you let things roll off, right? Yes, sir. Yeah. Not everybody's like that. That's in Sirach. Wink at ignorance. Is that 19?
Oh, Zahib, you got that?
Yeah, 28 and 7.
Oh, 28 and 7?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 28, verse 7. Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. Abstain from strife and thou shalt diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife.
So now, for those who, you said you hear something, and then it actually is a large spectrum there, because we're talking about what you hear. Just because someone says something that may be harsh, right? But we also have to make sure the thing that's being said is not like a heresy. It's not slander. So there's a lot of things that can be said that you can just brush off. You may hear something that's not doctrinal, that's not according to the doctrine. You might say, man, you tripping, and just leave it. But that's not something you brush off. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be specific. If it's something that a brother said that could be offensive, or a sister said that could be offensive, you can just wink at ignorance. Make sense? But if we're talking about someone is, go to, stay in Sirach, secrets. Can't spell today. Damn. Sirach, chapter 22. So, 22 and start at verse 22.
Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 22. If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be a reconciliation, except for upbraiding or pride.
So the upbraiding means to severely criticize. You understand? So we just read wink at ignorance, but it says there could be something that said you can roll, let's say, 99 things off. Like, no big deal. But that 100th was so severely in criticizing you, you're like, you know what? It says you can lose a friend that way, meaning now you no longer deal with the brother who was telling you what he told you. You let everything else go. You winked at ignorance 99 times. But it was that 100th time that you were like, oh, you done went too far. You understand? Go ahead.
For there may be a reconciliation, except for upbraiding.
So it says everything that you say to a brother, there's a reconciliation. Oh, man, I was just playing. Oh, damn, don't worry about it. No big deal. I'm sorry. Yada, it won't happen again. Whatever, right? But it says, except for severe criticism, meaning someone was trying to crush your spirit. Go ahead.
Or pride.
Or pride, meaning when you tell them, hey, bro, I didn't really like that. You shouldn't say that again. They're in their pride. You're like, you know what? I'm not even dealing with you anymore. Showing you the discourse can go too far. Sometimes people say, oh, I could roll off my back. That's all well and good. Sometimes it's not about what's said, but who says it to you. That changes everything. You know how many times I heard about in here that if a brother tells another brother something, he doesn't regard it. But when an officer tells his brother the same exact thing he just told him, all of a sudden he listens now. Any of y'all know what I'm talking about? Officer, you know what I'm talking about? Thank you. You only got one brother that know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Or disclosing of secrets.
So remember remember that thing I said that someone can say to you can be someone's business. It says you can lose a friend for disclosing their secrets. Now the secrets is not sin. Leviticus 5:1 says you got to tell if it's, yo, we're going to do something to the White House, or we're going to rob a bank, right? All of these things. Yeah, you got to tell. But this is not talking about sin. It's talking about someone deemed you a friend, shared something personal with you, and you went and told others their business. It says you can lose that. So there's something, what I'm telling you is be mindful of that statement, because Satan going to tempt you through it, saying you don't get butthurt. Oh, trust me, he's going to put you to the test. You understand? And some of those tests is what we just read. It could be somebody telling your business. It can be upbraiding. Someone is very harsh with evil intentions behind what they said. So just be very mindful of that. Yeah, we wink at ignorance. We let things roll off our back. But also be mindful that there's some things that can be said where you'll deem it's gone too far. Then you got to apply Matthew 18, right?
All praise. Anybody else got questions, sisters? Anybody online?
Man, come on, we here all night.
Y'all got the cap in the building. Don't buy y'all no questions. All right. Somebody got to go to work tomorrow. I guess. Oh, we got a question. Sister got a question.
I have a question, but it's not from the class. It's from something else.
It's from something else?
Yeah. It's not. Oh, I don't know. Should I ask?
Oh, you just wait after class, sis. You come up. Yeah.
Okay, so I was reading in Isaiah 17, and I think I get the first 2 verses and even part of the 3rd verse. But I kind of confused when it says, the remnants of Syria, they shall be as the glory of the children of Israel. To me, it sounds like a contradiction. I just didn't get it.
Right. There is no contradiction.
Yeah, I know there is.
Right.
But I just
Okay.
didn't. It's like, so if I'm, Captain, if you don't mind. So the first one is talking about the destruction of a place. The second one, another destruction. And then the third one, destruction but.
Destruction what?
The third verse was still talking about destruction, but then the latter part of that verse is talking about the glory of Israel. That's the part I didn't get.
Okay. See, the thing about Isaiah is it actually begins, I'm look at it one more time. You said 17, right?
Yes. Yes.
So from chapter 13 to chapter, well, a lot of Isaiah really, it goes into the destruction of the various nations. When you go up to chapter 16, the chapter before, let's go to verse 6, hypothetically. Start at verse 4.
Isaiah chapter 16, verse 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee. Moab, be thou a cover to them from the face of the spoiler.
So I want you to see. Now, we're talking about, Isaiah's talking about destruction of Moab, right? But who's in the midst of Moab? Brothers, you read it? Who you say, Lyle? Okay, because we just read that, right? So remember, Israel is scattered into these various lands. So there are times when you hear a reference that look like he's talking about the heathen having some sort of redemption or salvation. It's just talking about the remnant of Israel that's in the midst. So go to Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 11. Just to give you a quick summary is what I'm saying.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcast of Israel.
So just so you see, the outcast of Israel is in all of those lands. So when you hear the reference, it's talking about Israel, of course, is going to be redeemed from those lands before they are fully destroyed. Make sense? So back to chapter 17, read verse 3 down.
Isaiah chapter 17, verse 3. The fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus.
So now, remember, the book of Isaiah is what captivity? Assyrian captivity. Northern kingdom is going into captivity. Who did we just read was northern kingdom? Ephraim. We understand that, sis? Go ahead.
And the remnant of Syria, they shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, saith the Lord of hosts.
So now you understand that? So why are they going to be remnant? Because they're going to be delivered. So first they're going to go into captivity. Deliverance will come later on. Judah and Ephraim will be delivered. So they will get that glory again, but it's not at this time, right? Because they're going to be punished. Go ahead.
And in that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean.
Shall wax lean. Jump to verse 7.
Verse 7. At that day shall a man look to his maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel.
Why are we having respect to the Holy One of Israel? What's happening? I said it earlier. What's officer? Nope. Because remember, it's saying the bottom of verse 4 that the fatness of his flesh shall wax thin. What makes you thinner?
Famine.
What?
Famine.
Famine. What's going to humble us down as a people? Captivity. This is what's going on here, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. At that day shall a man look to his maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel.
So when we are punished, just like also Hosea 5:15, in our affliction, we now seek the Lord. It's saying the same exact thing. Go ahead.
And he shall not look to the altars, the work of his hands, neither shall respect that which his fingers have made.
Because what was Ephraim in? Idolatry. So what is God saying? Because I put you in captivity, you're going to suffer. You're going to finally respect me. You're no longer going to go to your idols anymore, because Ephraim is given to what? To idols. Those are the things of his fingers, his hands. He's making his idols. You understand, LAL? He's making his idols. So God is saying, listen, when I do this to you, you're going to know I'm the Lord. And them little trinkets you made, they're going to be nothing to you. Go ahead.
Either the groves.
Because what do we do in the groves? We worshiped idols. Go ahead.
Or the images. In that day shall the strong cities be as a forsaken bow.
Go ahead.
And an uppermost branch, which they left because the children of Israel. And there shall be desolation.
Why will it be desolate? Thank you. Because we'll be going into Assyrian captivity. Understood, sis? Okay? So it's going into captivity, destruction, future redemption. And Isaiah does that a lot. Isaiah, Zechariah, it'll change within one verse from present to the far future. You understand? So Isaiah, listen, Isaiah, whoo. As soon as I hear somebody say Isaiah, Zechariah, who else? Oh, Genesis. I'm like, whoo, here it come. Here it come. But all praise to the Most High. I pray you understand, sis.
Sis, we got, Cat, we got a sister says, how do you know that you're walking in sincerity in this truth?
I want you to hear that sigh. Okay. How do you know you're walking in sincerity and truth? That's actually a good question. Here's some. I want you to go to Hebrews. I want you to see something real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 16. It's something we're going to go a few places. Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 16. Let me look for one more. Hold on. Go up a little bit. Start at verse 14.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession.
So, one thing you have to know is if you take your profession seriously. Everybody understand that? Do you all know you all are employed by the Lord? Every one of us has made a choice, or, maybe or maybe you didn't make a choice for the profession you want to deem your full-time career. This is a profession. This is something that you signed when you how many of y'all broke bread? Oh, you took the hiring package. you are officially a part of HR. You made an agreement. You said, I'm going to call this my profession for the rest of my life. That's what we signed up for. So, keep reading.
Verse 15, for we have not an high priest, which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin.
So here's a perfect example. Christ is tempted the same way we are, but yet without sin. Now, I think it's the end of this is the end of John, where it says, if the books of all his work would have been, the world couldn't contain it. You don't have to get it. I think it's John, right? The end of John. So here's the point. The temptations that Christ endured, all of them are not listed, right? We know he was tempted, and here it's clearly saying every temptation of man, Christ understands it, but all of them are not listed. Everybody understand that? So basically, the same temptations you have, the same temptations I have, the same temptations you have, Christ overcame them. There's nothing, that's why he didn't come as angels. He didn't come in the form of an angel. He came in the form of man. So that the things that we suffer today, he already suffered, but he overcame it. Everybody understand that? So your fear, the lust, envy, hatred, all of that was presented before him by Satan. And he would be like, nah, get behind thee, Satan. Y'all understand that? Okay, keep reading.
Verse 16, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace.
Here's to the point of the question. How do we know we're walking in sincerity and in truth? Well, if you have taken the job you signed up for seriously, knowing because before you get hired, give me some attributes of once you pass the interview process. What are some questions you asked interviewers about the job? Grab the mic. I want to hear some people because I want to make sure everybody understands. I like to not leave any stone unturned, right? So you go into the hiring process. You're sitting in an interview, right? They usually end their portion of the interview with, do you have any questions? Am I correct? Yes? Oh, know what I'm talking about. Do you have any questions? What are some questions now you would want to know?
Benefits.
Okay. You want to know what kind of benefits they have. Somebody else. What else do you ask?
May I have the job?
May I have the job? Hire me. I don't care how much you paying. I'm going to take it. Some sisters in the back had their hand. Okay, go ahead, Naomi.
How much you going to pay me?
There you go right there. My brother said, how many dollar bills you putting in my bank account? That's some questions, right? You want to know. Oh, that was it? Sisters want to know how much money they was getting. See, they said, nah, he answered already. He got it. He got it. What else?
What days do I have off?
There you see? These are things you ask about your profession right now. All of us did that. But what are we asking about the real profession? How do I become a better leader? How do I become a better husband? How do I become a better wife? How do I become a better sister? How do I become a better servant? How do I better myself? What spirits can I work on? What is common among young men my age? Or a brother with children in my children's age group? What are some things that I have to look forward to? My wife is pregnant. What's some things I have to look forward? I'm a new father. I don't know. I've never been a father before. What do I know? How do I guide my household? Very seldomly do we hear those things. Very, very seldomly. Well, guess what? Those are the things that will cause you to gain or lose the kingdom. We understand that, right? So now the sister said, how do I know I'm walking in sincerity and truth? Now, once you get hired, right? They have a term that says an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, meaning you have to have a level of integrity on your job, correct? That means you don't clock in and then decide to go back to Starbucks. Am I right? You can't, because technically you stealing time, right? You don't do those things. Or you, I don't know, some stuff, right? But so the point is, there are certain levels of integrity that must be held on your profession, as your profession. Same thing here. So how do you know you're walking in sincerity and truth? Only you know if you're walking in sincerity and truth, right? The only time your boss can really tell if you're walking in integrity or not on the job is when they look at the cameras or they look at the clock rings to see when you clocked in or clocked out. They look at your vacation time. They look at where you are in the building, or if you're in a wrong location, things of that nature. It's only when the microscope is zeroed in on you will those things be revealed. But before it gets revealed, you already knew it was wrong. Am I right or wrong? You already knew you wasn't supposed to go to Starbucks on the clock. It's not your break time. It's not your lunch time. You already knew that. Because you walk back in the job with your Starbucks like this. Am I right or wrong? Because you know you say, somebody snitch on me? Somebody they saw my car leave the parking lot? You know it. I'm not making this stuff up. So it's the same thing in your profession here. It's the same thing. Only you know if you're walking in integrity. Only you know if you're being sincere. Only you know if you're being truthful or you're walking according to the commandments. Only you know that. Because everybody can put on a front to us. Listen, one thing I know about Jake lies very well. So y'all can tell, or y'all, I ain't going to say y'all. We lie. As a people, we lie. We could put on a good lie, and we can carry that joint till the cow come home. But at the end of the day, myself, all of us are going to have to give account for those lies. So only you know if you're walking in sincerity and truth, right? So read that again.
Verse 16.
Yep.
Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace.
The only way someone will go boldly to the throne of grace is if they know for certainty they're doing what they're supposed to do. Make sense? I know a lot of times we question ourselves and I don't know, Lord's will, I get the kingdom and hopefully the Lord has mercy. Yeah, that's all well and good. But in yourself, the only reason you have doubt is because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Sorry, but not sorry.
Faces. Got some faces, man.
It's the truth.
It is.
It's the truth. If you only you know if you're doing what you're supposed to do, because guess what? In here, you can make us believe anything you want. When you go home, it's a totally different person. Even just on the ride home, you could be a different person. We pull up next to you at a stoplight. You got what's that? Megan Thee Stallion bumping you like this in your car. I couldn't wait to leave them damn Israelites. I need to start paying attention at the stoplight, looking like who in that car right there? Who in that car? See if I catch somebody. But my point is, only you know. We're not in your car with you. We're not at the house with you. We're not on your telephone with you. Know who you're texting. We don't know. So how do you know? You have to know your profession. You know your profession because the hiring packet says these are the things you can do, gives you the bylaws of the job. The Bible is our bylaw. The commandments is our blueprint. So as long as you're following those things and you're not doing it because you're an agent, you're not doing it because you're trying to make money off the congregation, you're not doing it because you're in here just for a wife or a husband, you're doing it because you learned that you're an Israelite, you want the kingdom of heaven, so you're going to do what it takes to get it. So how do you know? Only you know. Only you know. Because everything else, I know it sounds generic sometimes. Yeah, we got to keep the commandments. Yeah, we got to keep the laws. But it sounds generic because it's so simple. It's so simple. The answer is keep the commandments. Everybody understand that? Okay. Hopefully that answers your question online, brother or sister.
Well, it was a sister. We got one more. How can you tell the difference between self-will or being proactive?
Oh, you went over that earlier. Damn. They said, I heard your class, but I'm going to ask it again.
Ask it again. I see a big cap here.
We went over that earlier because you said we went over Maccabees, getting a name for yourself, going against all the protocols. We went over that in 2 Peter 2:10 or 3:10 about not being self-willed. We even went to Titus chapter 1 verse 7 about a bishop or a leader not being self-willed. We went through that pretty extensively, to be honest. You might have, I don't know if you were here during that beginning part of the class, but we did. So taking initiative doesn't mean operating without counsel. Give me that in Sirach about every enterprise. Oh, okay, okay. So I'll give you a quick scripture, brother. But we did go over that very extensively. Sirach 28 or 38. Before every enterprise. Let reason go before every enterprise.
37:16.
37, thank you. So how do you know if you're moving, what is it? Proactive or self-willed, right? Sirach 37.
Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 16.
Go ahead.
Let reason go before every enterprise.
So now, every enterprise that you take on, it says let reason go, meaning be reasonable, right? Be reasonable. Think about it. So let's say, for instance, I say, hey, Lyle, if you see anything going on in the brother side, anything suspicious, let me know, right? Those are clear instructions. Next thing you know, 20 minutes later, Lyle is now yelling into the crowd, brother, I saw you doing this. Why are you doing that? Brother, we're going to put you out. Now I'm going to look at you crazy, right? Because it should have been, hey, Cap, I just saw something. The brother in the third row, this 2 over, he did this, that, and the third. How you want me to move? Let reason go before every enterprise. Reason is be rational. No one told you to threaten somebody, you're going to put them out. That wasn't, if you see something, let me know. You see how that goes? So the way you know if you're being proactive or self-willed is going against the instructions you're given. It's very simple. Like, for instance, the officers, they have codes of conduct. Operate outside of that, you're being self-willed. Now, that doesn't mean you can't bring forth ideas, bring forth better suggestions. No, by all means. But should you just implement them? No. So let reason go before every first, we got to think about it. Okay, I got a good idea. Let me go to the school and just do it. Let reason go. Be reasonable. Or, I got a good idea. I'm going to run it past the captains and deacon later on. Ding, 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 ding. Or really probably your officer. I'm going to run it past my officer, and hopefully he'll run it up the chain for me. Oh, that's even a better way. Yeah, everybody understand that? Sisters, I'm going to run this past my senior sister. Maybe she could tell the captains for me. I got a good idea about this, that, and the third. I know many of us, we talk as we walk through the congregation. I'm not saying you can't tell us certain things, but be reasonable. Don't just come and implement and change things. The machine has been moving. The train has been moving. Go ahead.
Let reason go before every enterprise.
Come on.
And counsel.
And what?
And counsel.
Huh. Go ahead.
Before every action.
Before every action. So before you implement it, just being self-willed, you should run it up the chain. So how do you know if you're being proactive or self-willed? We just read it. So if you go contrary to the instructions that you're given, you're being self-willed. I'll be honest. Because it's not what you do in the school or in the congregation. It's not about you. It's about the congregation. So something that you implement, let's say, for instance, hypothetically, I'm gonna do something simple. Let's say you don't like the unleavened bread here, sisters. I'm gonna use sisters. Let's say you don't like the unleavened bread, right? You're like, I could bake better. I'm a what is it? A baker? I was gonna say a bakist. A baker. I swear I didn't say it. I said I was gonna say it. I technically didn't say it. You're a baker, and you probably would make the best unleavened bread there is, right? So you said, you know what? You come in with your unleavened bread, you throw the other out because you got the bomb bread. But guess what? It has peanuts in it. And we have, let's say, 20 people in here that's allergic to peanuts. You didn't tell anybody about the action. You just were self-willed. Now we got folks' throat closing up, eyes swelling up, gagging, gasping for air on the ground, and all you can say is, my bad. Y'all understand that, right? So how do you know you're proactive or self-willed? There's a kitchen protocol in place. Everybody understand that? Certain way everything is done. This is a well-oiled machine. I know we just scratching pennies together, but it's a well-oiled machine. Everything is well-oiled. So my point is, both on the male brother side and the sister side, don't be self-willed. And you know you're being self-willed if you go against protocols that's been set in place long before you got here. Make sense? So hopefully the brother online got that. All praises.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.